evening to you and welcome to Friday to right here TV 47 to topics just for you.
Tonight, we have the finance bill. Now let me tell leaders ambaye wanaongea cross purpose. It is only we are not taking time kueleza wananchi what is happening. Turuachia watu ya opposition na Twitter wapige kelele.
We will not be intimidated. Deputy President Rigathi scoffs at Azimio leaders, insists the finance bill will sail through.
Let the states keep away from religion.
Also tonight, keep off church matters. Religious leaders warn the government. This as probe into the Shakahola massacre intensifies. Plus, relief for Judiciary Registrar Ann Amadi as court unfreezes her bank accounts. Welcome to the bulletin. Rhoda Nyama is on the sign language interpretation. I'm used to lay Stanley Nyiringite. You can always talk to us on our socials below your screens. Now, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has scoffed at Azimio leader Raila Odinga's demands on the finance bill, saying the government will not be cowed. This coming just a day after Raila issued fresh demands for the government to amend the finance bill 2023, threatening mass action if the government fails to do so. And as Gideon Yeri now reports, DP Gachagua insists that the finance bill will sail through, urging Kenyans to ignore Azimio leader Raila Odinga.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has scoffed at Azimio One Kenya leaders over their demands on the Finance Bill 2023, saying the Ruto administration will not be intimidated by their demands.
We have the finance bill. Now let me tell leaders ambaye wanaongea cross purpose. It is only we are not taking time kueleza wananchi what is happening. Turuachia watu ya opposition na Twitter wapige kelele. We are coming to explain to the people why we must collect money to build their roads, to do their water. And the people will understand that they have started understanding.
According to Gachagua, the government has to make hard choices to save the country's ailing economy, insisting that the Finance Bill 2023 will sail through.
But I can tell you, this incitement will come to an end. When we successfully pass a bill and it is enacted and implemented, au mahasara waone hakuna mtu wako na shughuli na hawa, watawachana na hiyo maneno. So these people will be talking to trees. Lakini wenye kusumbua ni wale ambaye hawana any obligation to anybody.
This comes just a day after Azimio leader Raila Odinga issued fresh demands to the government to drop the finance bill, which was termed as burden to Kenyans. Odinga threatening to call street protest if the government fails to amend the bill.
Today, we lay out our final objection to the revenue-raising measures contained in the Financial Bill 2023. We also give final instructions to our members of parliament, after which, depending on how the Ruto administration behaves, this matter may take a very different turn.
The opposition leader has said the claims made by Kenya Kwanza government that they inherited a broke country are not true, saying the poor economic status is as a result of mismanagement of funds, corruption, and hiring of incompetent personnel by the Kenya Kwanza government.
That the greatness of a leader is the ability to make hard decisions. This economy of Kenya, where we found it, and I said in Kasarani, we found a dilapidated economy with empty coffers. For us to turn around this economy and restore it to where Mwai Kibaki left us, President William Ruto and all of us who work under him must make hard decisions. The decisions may be a little painful in the beginning, but along the way they will be rewarding.
For TV 47, I'm Gideon Yeri.
Now let's shift focus, and the Senate Ad Hoc Committee probing the Shakahola dance Friday put to task religious organizations on how best to regulate churches. However, in a retaliatory tone, the clergy has told the committee that the state should keep away from religious matters. This as 10 more bodies of people believed to be controversial Pastor Paul Mackenzie's followers were exhumed from Shakahola forest today. Take a look. A section of religious leaders in the country have opposed the proposal to regulate churches. While appearing before the Senate Ad Hoc Committee probing the Shakahola massacre Friday, the leader stated that regulation of churches by the state will open doors for manipulation.
The state may not have the capacity because the state has no tools, has no mechanisms to weigh which is the right doctrine and which is not the right doctrine.
Let the state keep away from religion. Let us respect Article 8. State and religion are separate. What happened in Shakahola was not a religious affair. It was a completely criminal affair.
The committee, chaired by Tana River Senator Danson Mungatana, have poked holes on measures put in place to streamline the mushrooming of churches, with the religious bodies shifting the blame to the Registrar of Societies, asking it to do a background check before registering any religious organization.
The self-regulation, if that goes, then you have a registrar for Christian faith, a registrar for ATR, African Traditional Religions, a registrar for Hindus, a registrar for Muslims, a registrar for any other religions. Would that cover you?
So if you tell somebody that you have to fast, not eat for you to go to heaven, that person will have that faith because you are the teacher who is teaching that person a way of life. So if you don't have knowledge of what you're teaching, that is too dangerous and we should not allow that chair.
Minimum qualification for someone to open a church in this country is a degree in a minimum in theological education. That is the only person who can register there. And now you see they are giving direction because they are saying, such a guys are coming in here and saying, the Spirit has told me. They said that is not enough.
The Senate Ad Hoc Committee is expected to tour the Western region to interview those affected by the Shakahola massacre. This as the Coast Regional Commissioner Ruto has announced that 10 more bodies have been exhumed Friday in the vast Shakahola forest, bringing the number of deaths to 274. The exhumation team will retreat for the next 2 days and will resume the exercise on Monday.
Kuna shughuli imeweza kupungua hapa. Mnakumbuka wakati tulipoanza tulikuwa tunashughulikia yale makaburi ambao watu walikuwa wamesikwa kwa pamoja sana. Lakini sasa timu zile tuko nazo, ile ya search and rescue na pia ile ambayo inafukua mili, sasa tunatembea kwa sababu tunaendelea kuwatafuta wenzetu, na vile waziri amekuwa akisema kila wakati hakuna mtu akiwa hai ama amehaga tutamwacha nyuma.
And in matters security, Interior Cabinet Secretary Professor Kithure Kindiki has warned leaders from the North Rift region against inciting communities in the region to violence. The CS was speaking at a security meeting held in ElgeyoMarakwet County, where he revealed the government's plan to build schools under the Education for Peace initiative in a bid to foster peaceful coexistence among locals in the area. Nelly Lusige reports.
Cabinet Secretary for Interior and National Administration Kithure Kindiki toured ElgeyoMarakwet, a county that has been plagued by insecurity fueled by the banditry attacks for years. Education and other essential services have greatly been affected by the runaway insecurity in the area. And today, this formed the agenda for the security meeting held by the CS, security personnel and the ElgeyoMarakwet residents.
Waambia waende wakafanye uhalifu na kutoa roho na nafsi za watu. Wewe ukiwa mwanasiasa, tafuta njia nyingine ya kuomba naye kura. Na mimi nitapita na wewe asubuhi na mapema.
ElgeyoMarakwet Governor Wesley Rotich also called on the locals to participate in the changing of the narrative of Kerio Valley being a valley of death.
Factory ya kuprocess mangoes. Tuko na mangoes hapa. Sisi tunaomba bunduki ya KPR na risasi. Watoto wetu wanyongane, lakini watu wengine wanaomba vitu ya maana.
First of all, to silence the gun.
kuhakikisha kwamba usalama kwanza.
In a quest to foster peace in the unstable North Rift region, the CES announced the government's plans of setting up multi-ethnic community schools in the area.
Fundishwe na walimu kutoka jamii zote, walimu wa Marakwet, walimu wa Pokot, shule moja ya kulala, wakae hapa, ndio tuondoe hii dhana ya kwamba ati lazima utafute ng'ombe ndio sasa uonekane wewe ni mtu mstaarabu.
Schools destroyed in the recent bandit attacks shall also be rebuilt. Nelly Lusigi, TV47.
Right now, the government is likely to amend the Finance Bill 2023. Members of the National Assembly Committee on Finance and National Planning have retreated to Naivasha to harmonize the bill before tabling it in Parliament for the third reading. Now, the outcome of that retreat will dictate whether amendments have been made on the contentious issues. In the meantime, Senate Speaker Amason Kingi says the debate on the bill is healthy and Kenyans should look at the bigger picture. Josh Ansare reports.
As the deadline to pass the Finance Bill 2023 draws near, debate is rife as Kenya Kwanza and Azimio MPs continue to differ. This was evident in Kabuchai at the Thanksgiving ceremony for the area MP Majimbo Kalasinga, where Kenya Kwanza MPs threw jabs at the opposition MPs. Sirisia MP John Waluke differed with his colleagues and drum up support for the bill, while the Azimio MPs insisted that the bill poses financial burden to Kenyans.
Hii bill imepepa vitu mingi. Hii bill iko na CDF ndani yake. Basari iko hapo ndani ya finance bill. Na nimeambia wabunge wenzangu, na ukweli ni huu, hii bill tutapitisha. Tutapitisha ndio mwananchi, tuokoe mwananchi maskini. Kuna kwenda bunge ati na tena iko open. Majimbo akijificha, hakuna mahali anajificha. Ya kwanza. Nilisema sikutaka kuongea. Mafuta ya pikipiki. Pandisha from 8% to 16%.
Na serikali hasla watu wengi sana waliwapigia kura wakijua ya kwamba hii serikali itatetea mtu wa chini. Lakini sasa venye mambo inaenda, mtu wa chini sasa amesaulika ni mtu wa juu. Na hiyo sasa kwa sababu unaangalia tangu hata sisi wabunge tukiwa hapa, naona hata mheshimiwa wenu huyu ako na aspiration kubwa sana. Lakini kufikia leo tunabaki na siku 9 peke yake to the new financial year. Lakini kufikia leo tunadai pesa huko kwa national government almost 80 million ambazo hazijafika hapa, 98 million hazijafika hapa.
This came as members of the National Assembly Committee on Finance and National Planning retreated to Naivasha to harmonize the bill before tabling it in Parliament for the third reading. In the meantime, senators have been challenged not to get sucked into party politics when carrying out their legislative role. Senate Minority Leader Stewart Mazayo, speaking during a retreat between the Senate House leadership and the parliamentary journalists, urged senators to critically examine concerns raised in the finance bill and vote objectively.
Kusiwe na shida yote. Lakini unajua ikifika wakati ya kwamba wewe kama ulichaguliwa kutoka Kilifi, alafu umeenda pale, unaambiwa na ngoja na kuangalia wewe upige kura yako. Na pale utaipiga ndio itaamua vile nitakufanyia. Mimi nafikiria wakati wa vitisho kama huo umepitwa na wakati. Kwa hiyo sisi kama wabunge nasema ni lazima tujukumike na tujue ni kitu gani kilitupeleka pale, na sio kukubali kutishwa na mtu yote, kwa sababu kama mimi huwezi kunitisha.
This comes as Senate Speaker Amason Kingi implored the media to ensure emerging societal issues take precedence in national conversations. The Senate House leadership retreated to Mombasa for a 2-day induction training for journalists under the Kenya Parliamentary Journalists Association. The first day of the meeting could see discussions circle back to the Finance Bill 2023 ahead of the second reading of the bill in Parliament.
As we all know, it is established under Article 93 of the Constitution as one of the 2 chambers of a bicameral parliament. Article 96 of the Constitution spells out the role of the Senate as follows: that the Senate represents the counties and serves to protect the interests of the counties and their governments.
Joash Onsare, TV 47.
Now to the corridors of justice, Chief Registrar of the Judiciary, Ann Amadi, can now breathe a sigh of relief after the High Court set aside orders freezing her personal bank accounts. In his ruling, High Court Judge Justice Alfred Mabea said that there was no enough evidence that linked Amadi with a law firm registered under her name that allegedly failed to deliver 1,500 kilograms of gold bars to a Dubai-based trading company, Bruton Gold Trading LLC. Dennis Otieno tells us more.
The High Court Friday set aside orders freezing personal bank accounts of the Chief Registrar of the Judiciary, Ann Amadi. High Court Judge Justice Alfred Mabea, in his ruling, said that the orders against Amadi were made in bad faith, noting that she's not in charge of the law firm allegedly registered under her name and is not in private practice.
There was ample evidence produced to show that Ann Amadi is the registered proprietor of the same law firm. However, I'm alive to the fact that a certificate of registration of a business name is only a prima facie evidence of ownership of a business entity. If, however, there be further evidence to the contrary, then the court will go with the hard evidence produced. In the present case, the evidence is clear that Ann Amadi ceased to practice as an advocate of the High Court of Kenya in 2014 when she was appointed the CRJ. She communicated this fact to the Law Society of Kenya.
According to Justice Mabea, Amadi was not in charge of the law firm at the material time when the transactions were allegedly made by her son, and she should therefore not carry the cross of her son, who is an adult.
There was absolutely no evidence to show that Ann Amadi was involved in the day-to-day running of the farm. Neither was there anything to show that she was named of the said farm of the farm. Further, there was nothing to connect her with the receipt and disbursements of the subject funds. Of course, her continuing to be the registered proprietor of the farm, which is in active legal business, while she's a CRJ of the Republic of Kenya, is something to be frowned upon, but that frowning would not extend to freezing her personal accounts.
Registrar of Judiciary Ann Amadi had been accused of being involved in an alleged gold scam where a law firm registered under her name was paid 100 million shillings to purchase 1,500 kilograms of gold for a Dubai-based company, Bruton Gold Trading LLC, which it failed to deliver. Dennis Otieno, TV 47.
Right, take a look at this next story. Gatundu residents in Kiambu County are living in fear following the outbreak of a strange cattle disease that is threatening to rip them of their investment. Farmers in the area are counting huge losses following the outbreak of the disease that has since not been identified by veterinary officers in the area. Chichi Josephine tells us more.
The disease, which is yet to be identified by veterinary officers, has spread rapidly in the area, causing significant economic losses to local farmers. At the home of Peter Mungai, a vibrant dairy farmer in the area, the outbreak has affected one of his freshened breeds. Mungai is forced to cover the sick cow with torn sacks to shield it from flies. He has constructed a temporary polythene structure that he uses as an isolation room for the sick cow.
Na ni ugonjwa unaonekana ni hatari, unaona ng'ombe inalala hapa, ingeweza kujimama, ingeweza kukula, ni umpe kama mtoto.
The disease is characterized by the emergence of wounds on the head limbs that cripple the cow's mobility, followed by huge pimples on the skin and in the mouth.
After kufura mguu ikilala aiamuki, inasinda tu na kulala, kukunja utafuta watu ukunje waifundiwe.
Farmers are now calling upon the county government of Kiambu Department of Livestock to take swift action by helping them manage the outbreak risks and protecting their lives.
Unaamka asubuhi unakuta ng'ombe yako ilikuwa mzuri ukiiwacha jioni. Lakini asubuhi ukiamka unakuta ng'ombe imefura mguu moja. Kesho yake unakuta imefura mguu mbili. Sasa ukiona haikuli mpaka uende utafute daktari.
Na madhudo hiyo ikipata ng'ombe inashindwa hata ni kura sakura, kwa maana hiyo dhudo ilikuwa kama hata mdomo ilikuwa nayo, na ni dhudo imetoka kubwa sana. Kwa hivyo tunataka usaidizi kutoka kwa serikali, kwa maana tuko na shida mingi sana.
Na kulingana na vile wakulima wanasema, na mimi nikajionea, ni ng'ombe kama 5 zimekufa. Lakini ile imebaki juu ikiwa imegojeka ni ng'ombe 10. Kwa hivyo tungeomba serikali tusaidie isiendelee kukufa.
Dr. Njuguna, the veterinary officer in charge of Gatundu North Sub-County, through a phone call promised to send officers who will help to identify the kind of disease and make the necessary intervention to save the remaining herd. Chichi Josephine, TV47.
Right, thank you for that, Chichi Josephine. Moving on, there was drama in Majengo area in Laikipia County after a 99-year-old woman threatened to curse police officers who were trying to arrest her. The elderly woman was arrested with 6 liters of illicit brew and several crude weapons. Laikipia East Deputy County Commissioner Patrick Muli says the woman had been evading the law by threatening to curse officers who attempted to arrest her. Here's Vera Albeta with the story.
Confirming the incident, Laikipia East Deputy County Commissioner Patrick Muli said they have been investigating the 99-year-old woman whom they termed as a notorious supplier of the illicit brew in Laikipia County.
Tumeweza kupata mama ambaye ako na 89 years, manake alizaliwa 1924, na tumempata akiwa akinauza chang'aa mahali wazi. Na nafikiria kulingana na area chief ametueleza kwamba huyu mama amekuwa msumbufu sana kwa sababu huwa anaficha pombe chini ya miguu.
He noted that the woman, Marikuni Tanaba, had previously threatened to curse any officer who attempted to arrest her.
Na akiona officers wetu anajilalisha na anasema hawezi amuka. Na wakati tumekuja na red officers, wanawake ambao maybe tuwaambia akamushwa, na tukaona alikuwa na pombe zaidi ya 9, na alikuwa na visu zaidi ya 40 zilikuwa zimefichwa kwa sanduku.
Apart from the 6 liters of illicit brew, the suspect was found with crude weapons in her possession.
Naamini ya kwamba hizo bidhaa zote ni ya wizi. Alafu tena tumerekava bidhaa ya chakula kama majani kwa wingi. Pia iko kijiko karibu 60 kijiko ya kukulia, ambayo tunaamini ya kwamba iko vijana ambaye anafanya wizi, anakuja kuweka vitu kwa hiyo mama, maybe kwa biashara ama vitu.
During the operation, police officers also nabbed 760 liters of illicit brew in Liki area.
Tumeweza kurecover kangara 700 liters ambao tumedestroy, manake mwenyewe hakupatikana. However, tumemanage to arrest one sera wa chang'aa with about 2 liters.
Residents have been warned against abetting crime in the area and have been urged to work closely with the police to put an end to illicit brew.
Pombe haramu hainanga miaka ya kusema huyu mama amekuwa mzee, huyu ni kijana. Kama umepatikana na hatia ya pombe haramu, haijalishi miaka ni wewe kuna miaka ngapi, pia tunakukamata na kustaki.
Mungu yangu. Vera Albeta, TV47, Nairobi.
Elsewhere, boda riders in Embu Town are protesting high cases of insecurity in the region. This comes after one of them succumbed to injuries inflicted on him by thugs, with the riders saying they have lost many due to insecurity. The riders, led by Kangumu Boda Association Chairman Martin Mushira, were carrying the hearse of the deceased. Martin says negligence by the hospital staff of Embu Level 5 Hospital also contributed to the untimely death of the deceased. The riders have asked Embu Governor Cecilia Salim Barire to look into the matter of insecurity in the county. Kirimari Ward MCA Ibrahim Swale says the hospital could be sued for negligence, adding that they have been provided with enough funds for what is needed.
Kesi za insecurity zimekuwa mingi sana, na wacha niseme sababu pia MC yetu ni champion wa kupigana na insecurity. Tunamwambia wacha street lights ziwekwe kila mahali na tutaanzisha nyumba 10 ya watu wa bodaboda. Zekanaje Shakahola watu wanauliwa intelligence hawajui. Hapa tunauliwa kila wakati intelligence hawajui. Kazi ya intelligence mimi nashindwa ni gani? Tuna huzuni sana kwa sababu kila wakati kila uchao tunatupa vijana wetu. Kwa hivyo naomba wale watu wasilale kazi yao. Alafu tena ile hospitali ya general structure ziko, dawa ziko, lakini human resource ndio hatuna.
Alipata ajali kupitia kuvamiwa na waizi, lakini shida kubwa pamoja na kuwa kuna insecurity ni hospitali yetu. Mimi nataka niseme wazi kwamba county government, sisi kama wabunge wa county kupitia ofisi ya governor tumetengeneza hii hospitali. Madaktari wako na madawa. Madaktari